There are some games that you can just turn on and instantly know that it was originally a European computer game. There's just a certain je ne sais quoi for them. Whether it's the music, visual style, or just how the gameplay is different, you can always tell the European games. And yes, Titan was a French computer game before Sofol decided to port it to consoles. The concept here is very simple. It's Breakout, except you control a cursor instead of a paddle, so you can freely roam around the stages trying to redirect the ball. Once you clear all the destroyable bricks, or make the ball collide with an exit panel, then you advance to the next stage. If your cursor or the ball collides with a skull icon, then you lose a life. There's no power-ups or special tricks to learn. The biggest complication here is understanding what the special bricks around the maze do. There are some where you have to collide your cursor with the brick in order to erase it, and these green skulls will kill the ball but not your cursor, and your cursor can remove them. This blotch, I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be, but if you move your cursor over it, then you slide all the way until you collide with something. It doesn't affect the ball at all. These green bricks with a dot in them can be pushed around. The most common use for those is blocking off skull icons so that the ball can't collide with them. And touching one of these tiles will teleport you around the maze. The black squares will slowly have a skull grow in them every time you collide with them, whether it's with the ball or with your cursor. If you hold down the A button, your cursor will move a bit more slowly, while holding down the B button reduces the ball's speed. Personally, I never really found a need to use either of those. There's actually a story to the game about this being some future death sport, though I have no idea how spectators were supposed to watch and enjoy it. There are 80 stages in the game, and you get a password after clearing every stage. When the game was released, you could send in the 80th stage password, and the first 100 people who did it got a prize. A certificate of completion, and if you were one of the first 10 to finish the game, then you got a 24-karat gold card. I couldn't find any images of the certificates or the cards, so that should tell you how enthusiastic people were about this. I can't dance around this any longer. Titan is a fundamentally flawed game design. It's real bad. The way that the challenge of Breakout works is that you're trying to keep the ball from falling out, as well as trying to eliminate bricks. But in Titan, for at least the first 20 stages, there's effectively no threat of losing a ball. I had it happen once in the hour that I was playing. There were 2 stages where I had to keep the ball away from skull icons, and that was it. So if there's no threat to the ball, then you'll eventually win if you just keep it bouncing around. You don't have a lot of fine control here either, so that makes this really boring. And for a lot of stages, you figure out the trick, and then you repeat that same trick 10 or 20 times. It's absolutely terrible level design, and the game plays very choppily. You and other moving bricks go around in big chunks rather than smooth movement. It's something that betrays Titan's computer origins, but it also doesn't look or play nice. The way I completed most stages was to lock the ball up someplace, then look for anything that my cursor needed to clear, things like closing off skull icons so that they couldn't affect the ball. Then once I had the stage prepared, let the ball out and get to work on clearing things. Later stages become more challenging, and there's even a specific challenge mode with 5 extra difficult levels that you could jump straight to. But from what I read and saw, the trivially easy stages persist throughout the entire game. Titan isn't a test of skill, it's a test of patience. Titan is about as obscure a Famicom game as you can get. It's not especially desirable, so it's not expensive, but copies can be hard to come by. You just don't see it for sale very often. Obviously, I had a completely miserable playing experience with Titan. There's no challenge here, and you don't have a lot of tools to control the path of the ball, so every stage just evolves to keep going in the general direction and eventually you'll hit something. There were a lot of stages where I just got out of the way and let the ball bounce for a while. It's not much fun when you just have the game play itself.